problem. We got ourselves a little gun safe with just a little motion detector light. Here, let's flip it on. Yeah, you can't see anything out of here. Okay, that's what I'm gonna fix. Okay, so this is the before shot, and let's go ahead and go to the upgrade shot. Okay, y'all, here's after. Let's see. Let's open her up. There's the switch. Man, this thing is just lit up. I was going to put some black tubing in here to cover up wires, but fortunately for me, the siding, the fireproofing, had a little bit of space in there, so I was able to tuck a lot of the wires. I still need to tape up a little bit. I got kind of lazy as far as taping up all of the wire with electrical tape. I might go back in there and do it, but for the most part, it's cleaned up. I just need to, let it run for a few days and tape anything else that is falling off, just to make sure that it's secure in there. But when you're standing, mid-level, you can't really see any of the lights, and that's what I was going for, to make it kind of seamless and to look a little professional. And I think I accomplished that. And I will say this, it was a lot more difficult than I thought, just because it took forever. So just keep that in mind if you're going to do this. Set aside a week, of doing it a couple hours at a time. You could probably do it in one day, like on a Saturday, if you knew what you were doing. But if you're not really into electronics, it'd be a good project to start with, to learn about electronics, that's for sure. But I had a lot of fun doing it. Now, since we've incorporated electricity into the safe, I'm going to probably get rid of this cardboard dehumidifier and get an actual wand dehumidifier. So I'm going to have to go up to Gander Mountains and see what they got up there and do a little bit of research. But I think it turned out great. I hope you guys like it. Okay, so this is really the business end of everything. It's this 5mm strip of LED. It's let me see, 3528 SMD LED, 5 meters, man. And I spent $10.52 free shipping off of eBay from Hong Kong. Let's get a little look at that. Let's see. Hope you can see that. It's got this little sticky tab on the back. But I got it on eBay for $10.52, as opposed to spending like $100 off of a store in the States. It's made in Hong Kong. Even if you buy it from a store in the States, if it were made in the United States, I'd buy it. But come on, man, you can't mark the stuff up 10% or 10 times, not 10%, 10 times, man. $100 for a 5-meter strip of LEDs, 300 lights. Come on, man, give me a break. Okay, so yeah, I bought all of this stuff off of eBay, and it shipped from Hong Kong, and it took 10 days to get. Big deal, Like I said, if it came from the United States and was made here, I would buy it. But I'm broke and I'm trying to cut corners here. So something else is the male and female 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter DC meld clips, and you can just put your wiring in there. It's easy connectors and everything. So yeah, I got 10 female and 10 male for like $6 for each package, shipped from Hong Kong for free. $6 a piece. So I got 20 of these connectors for like 12 bucks. And I got the 12 VDC 2 amp power supply, 24 watts for $7, as opposed to paying like 15 or 20 bucks in the States. Same place, same supplier. I just went to eBay and I was the middleman. So you guys can do the same thing. Got a toggle switch. I paid $3.88 for it. This is supposed to be a green LED. Who knows if it's going to work. I think I have to hook up the ground. Yeah, it's a white cable. I ended up going to Habitat for Humanity and got like 12 of these. They were like $1/4 a piece. That's used. But it's, you know, I think 16 gauge wire. Heck, I don't know. But I had some of this heavier gauge, and it's just too large for this project. Yeah, Habitat for Humanity. It's a non-profit organization. If you guys have one in town, shop there, man. They got a lot of hardware and stuff like that for really cheap. It's all used. They when they tear down a house, you know, they'll take all of the innards out and they'll sell it for really cheap, and it's a pretty cool deal. You should go check it out. So this is where I'm at with stage 1. I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of all of the materials that I've used. Let's go ahead and plug this in, make sure the switch is working. I had some problems with it. Let's not electrocute ourselves here. Okay, so yeah, we got it working. Let's shut it off. Alright. So, don't take a grain, don't take anything that I say with, you know, any authority, because I know just enough about electronics to get myself killed. I'm into ham radio and stuff, so I've played with electronics, but if you want to ask me questions about electronics, man, I'm probably the wrong person. I will tell you, though, that having soldering irons and, you know, multimeter, and, oh, I got one of these things from Harbor Freight for a few bucks. Man, this thing is awesome. I can, you know, having an extra hand when soldering and stuff like that, man, that's pretty cool. Also, I got this from Harbor Freight for a few dollars. Harbor Freight rocks if you're trying to save money. So if you want to do this on the cheap, man, I'm going to step you through it and show you how I did it. Wire cutters. Man, I'm sure you guys have all of this stuff laying around, including your bar steiner. You got to have your bar steiner laying around, because if you don't, there's a problem. Alright. So here's the switch. It's just a toggle switch. It's a 3-prong, so it's got 2 of the prongs here, which would be the black, and then they snap in with the red like that. Let me see I don't know if you guys can see that. It's pretty simple. And then this is the white. It's supposed to be green for ground, but I ran out of green, so pretend like this is green. Alright. So this is just a 2x4 with some of that paint, and I got some Velcro on here, or snap and loop, or hook and loop, so Velcro doesn't sue me. Okay, and then I just put that on there like that. And this is one of the shelves out of the safe, so it's a pretty good match, even though you're not going to be able to see it. That's where we're at right now. And this actually fits in quite snug, you know, inside the door jamb there, so when you open the door, it'll just barely show. So, you know, I painted this, but you're not even going to be able to see it. I just wanted it to look nice, you know, even though you won't see it. It's all about the details. So, alright, next step. Okay, so what I did was I cut all of the strips sort of where I wanted them. They're all resting sort of in the locations where they're going to be placed. Those, they're all the ones on the shelves I've already started kind of soldering. So that's what I did. It seemed to make the most sense, and then I'm just gonna, you know, uh, start piecing them together, soldering one by one. I figured that'd be the best approach. So let's get to soldering. Okay, now when you start cutting and soldering and stuff, always make sure you grab your favorite German beer. If it's not your favorite, Beck's, it's a acceptable German beer. Pretty tasty. Okay, so right here, if you're wondering, you see those four little copper marks? There's a line there. That's where you would actually, you know, cut the piece, and then you just snap it. But this one's already cut to size. There's this sticky tape stuff on the back of this particular LED, and I just take a knife and cut the tab of, it's almost like hot glue consistency material, you just pull off the little tab there, and that's what we'll solder. So you got the two dots, you've got your positive and your negative, your black and your red. This is a finished one. You can't see my poor soldering skills because I've covered it up with a couple of pieces of heat shrink tubing. Heat shrink tubing is pretty cool. You can take a lighter or a hair dryer or something and it'll shrink it up. This is a pretty bad example because I did horrible on this one. But after you've made your solder, always check your negative and positive. So we're on the positive here. I guess you call them leads. I don't know. You just make sure that you've got conduction with your multimeter. So there, the multimeter is going berserk. So we've got conduction there. And then what I always do is I keep the wire touching, and then I check to make sure that there's no crossover to the negative in this case, because we don't want them to cross. And that's really the only difficult thing that you got to worry about is when you solder that they don't touch, because you don't want them touching. It's basic electronics. So get a soldering gun like this. Well, there's a decent brand, but I usually use something a little more powerful just because I hate waiting around. I've got this one, and I think I just need a new tip for it, but it kind of sucks, to be honest with you. So if I was doing a computer board, I'd want to use a nicer one, but something like this will get you through it. It's not that difficult. Heck, I haven't even researched it, but they might even make connectors for this where you can just slide it on, but I'm not sure. I just really needed to practice my soldering skills because I suck at it. But that's all you have to really worry about is connecting everything together with some solder, and take some electrical tape and wrap it all up to make sure that it looks good inside the case, and tuck it away and hide it so nothing's showing, so that you just flip the switch and the lights come on and everything's good to go. So all right, cheers. All right, this middle shelf, it's probably the most difficult one that I've done. Still trying to get it all situated right, so when it's placed on there it's not going to interfere with anything. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips. I'd say 20, 30 LEDs. Got some electrical tape. I don't know if that's going to hold. So this is going to run to the shelf above. Got a female connector that's going to connect from the bottom shelf.